It's late. I'm not going to get all loud up. Need to break some news. So I'm going to be using this mic. You'll be seeing this video in the morning, but I'm recording it at like 1 a.m. All right. With that said, let's jump into it. What is up, Crumpy people? If you don't know who I am, my name is John Crump. I'm an investigative journalist with MLN News, the best damn website on the planet where you can get your 2A fix. I investigate the ATF, FBI, and all the other agencies and organizations that want to violate your God given and constitutional right to bear arms. First, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, ring that bell, turn on notifications, hit that thumbs up, and leave me a comment. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and you will get the latest breaking news on my channel. All right, today's story is about the bump stock case out of the Sixth Circuit, Gun Owners of America, which, for full disclosure, I work for, versus Garland. All right, what this case does is say that bump stocks are not machine guns. A 3-judge panel out of the Sixth Circuit ruled 2-1 that bump stocks don't meet the definition of a machine gun because, hey, they don't. They also ruled that the ATF cannot apply Chevron deference in this case. Basically, Chevron deference means if a regulation isn't clear, it defaults back to the interpretation of the agency which issued the regulation. In this case, it would be the ATF. The Sixth Circuit panel of judges said you can't do that because this would be a criminal case. It could be used against people in criminal actions or prosecute for criminal actions. So they denied that, and they denied that a bump stock turns a gun into a machine gun. The biggest issue with the federal government's case is that the definition of a machine gun is a gun that expels multiple rounds with a single action of the trigger. With bump stocks, that's not the case. You still pull the trigger multiple times with a bump stock. It just accelerates the time it takes to pull a trigger. The Sixth Circuit ruled that is not a good reason for the ATF to change the regulation and ban bump stocks as a machine gun. The federal government under Trump went after bump stocks after the Las Vegas mass murder, where a gunman apparently used a bump stock to kill 50 people at a country music festival. So they banned a piece of plastic, basically. The interesting thing is the panel of judges said that the district court would have to decide how big the injunction would be, but it would only apply to 4 states, the 4 states under the Sixth Circuit, which is Michigan, Kentucky, Ohio, and I'm totally blanking out on the 4th state, but there is a 4th state there. So basically, let's say you're in Ohio and the injunction gets issued by the district court and you have a bump stock. In Ohio, it's just a piece of plastic, no regulations and whatnot. Once you cross into West Virginia, though, that piece of plastic would magically turn into a machine gun, which would cause a interesting problem. And there was a split in the court. The Circuit Court for the District of Columbia ruled in favor of the ATF. So right now there is a split. So if the federal government does not get the En Banc, which is the full bench rehearing, that would mean their only choice would be to go to the Supreme Court, because there is a split in the circuit court system. It would mean that the Supreme Court would be very likely to take it up, which would mean that it would either help the government or potentially hurt the government. There is a bigger chance of it hurting the government than helping the government because the government would lose 4 states, but the other 56 states would still have a bump stock ban enacted. So I'm not really sure that the federal government would even appeal to the Supreme Court. I know if GOA loses an En Banc hearing, they definitely will appeal to the Supreme Court. But the federal government, I'm not sure. I think they just might leave it that way, which would create a bunch of problems and be a very interesting situation. So I do hope that the Sixth Circuit denies the federal government's petition for a en banc hearing, and I do hope that the federal government at that point appeals to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court takes it and rules in favor of the good guys, us, the gun owners. But who knows? No one can really tell you what's going to happen in the court, no matter what the pundits say. It could be up in the air. You can have a liberal court rule for a conservative cause, which is very unlikely, but does happen. Or you can have a conservative court not wanting to upend the apple cart and roll for the federal government, which happens more often than I would like. But it's going to be interesting, and I have a feeling that this petition is going to be denied. I don't know. It's just a feeling. I could be totally wrong, but I just don't think that they're going to get an en banc hearing. But I could be wrong. We'll see. All right. With that said, I have a Patreon. If you like what I do here, consider becoming a Patreon. It would mean the world of difference to me. It helps me do this videos and to do all my other projects. And all my other projects are 2A friendly or, cancer research and stuff like that. So it helps fund those. And I would love to earn your Patreon dollars. I know you can give dollars and money to all these different creators, and I'm a small creator, but I do break news, and I do really believe in the Second Amendment and the cause of gun rights. So, and I do a lot of good with the money that I do get through Patreon and ad revenue and everything else. Even my website, Black Swan Tactical, all that goes back to my causes. All right. My name is John Crump. Stay ever vigilant, stay ever free, keep in the fight. I'm out, and peace.